Good evening. Welcome to the South River Mayor and Borough Council meeting number 4 to held today on February 13th, 2023. I'm hereby calling this meeting to order. Statement of notice of publication, Madam Clerk.
In compliance with Chapter 231 of Public Law of 1975, notice of this meeting to be held at the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, or remotely via Zoom, has been published in the Home News Tribune on January 6, 2023, posted on the Municipal Building Bulletin Board, the Borough website, and the front door of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Krenzel?
Here.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Here.
Councilman Gindi?
Here.
Councilman Kurczynski?
Here.
Councilwoman Mira?
She'll be joining us later.
Councilman Oliveira?
Here.
Council President Ciula?
Here.
Okay. Please stand for the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please be seated. No proclamations, honor, awards, or presentations today. However, we will have an agenda session to discuss two matters. One concerning the marijuana dispensary license. I believe that is yours, Mr. Oliveira.
Yep. Let me get the microphone closer so Alyssa doesn't yell. All right. So first and foremost, I want to thank Mayor and Council for agreeing to have this on the agenda session. At the last meeting, one of the things discussed was the possibility of bringing a dispensary into town to help generate revenue, which could go toward infrastructure, can go toward putting it back into the community. One of the things I'll be discussing during my report is just the need for more space for the rec. So with this, I created a packet for the council with a sample referendum question that was asked in multiple towns. In addition, there is a fee structure with Metuchen. I know that's getting a little bit ahead of myself, being that we don't know if this will pass with a referendum or not. But for instance, Metuchen charges $2,500 just for the application. They charge a yearly application fee of $15,000. And of course, working with the chief, we would have to set limitations on what will and will not be approved at this. But most importantly, they're bringing in 2% of taxes on the sale of cannabis. So being that we've already approved every single license except this one, I just think this is a great opportunity. This is new. We don't know what to expect. It's such a hot topic right now. Some residents want it, some don't. So I think it's important that we allow our residents to have a voice and let us know what they want. So I would like to propose putting a referendum on the November ballot with first reading to be on March 20th and second reading on April 10th. This allows us one meeting to work with Andrea's office to just get the question finalized. And if all goes well and gets approved, we can then start working on creating an ordinance by forming a committee and just really researching different boroughs. That's what I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Thoughts, ideas, comments?
Let's move forward with it and get it on a referendum. So let's get the questions going. Let's talk with Andrea and get everything we have to do to get it on schedule.
Yeah, and if you guys look in your packet, I drove around town looking at buildings that haven't been utilized. We have the old Jensen's Fish Market on Ferry Street, Kilimanjaro's, which against it's empty right now. You have the Zeppeli guy that was in that vacant property, but I do believe that's purchased. You have the professional building on Water Street. And again, there's a lot of buildings in town that can use, the love and care. So I do think this is a great opportunity for the residents. So thank you guys for hearing me out.
Okay. Thoughts of our borough attorney? What is the best way of beginning this? I don't remember the last time we had a referendum on our, that we proposed one.
I will speak with Jason, and we just need to put an ordinance on for first and second reading, and then we forward it to the clerk.
Okay.
And it'll be placed on the ballot.
All right, then. And this wording, well, you'll work with the wording.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and I spoke this afternoon. This was just a sample of what we saw, but this, of course, is not set in stone. We want to keep it broad. This way we are able to see what's out there and what everyone would like.
All
Very
right,
good.
then. They're not failing, very good, then. The people will decide. Other matter to be discussed, dispatcher supervisor ordinance. And that belongs to you, I guess, Chief. You've requested to have a supervisor for the,
Yes, I did. I requested this to be on the ordinance throughout the years. Dispatching has changed. When I first started here, our dispatchers just used to answer the phone, answer the 911 system. All our calls would be tracked by a punch card. We've changed. Not only do we have a CAD system, we have a record management system. They take care of system. We have a camera system now that takes care of the whole entire building. There's many reports that we have to do for not only the state, the many different hats that our communications officers answer the telephones, they answer the 911 system, they answer the people that they answer all police, fire, rescue squad, electric utility on radio, and a lot of the reporting and a lot of the training, that aspect of communication, has been put in the hands of a police officer and one of our dispatchers. And it's my job as a police chief to put more boots on the ground to make sure that our safe. So instead of having a police officer do the majority of the line share of work that we do for reporting, when it comes to look at some of the responsibilities on there, I'm looking to transfer that over to a head dispatcher. We have currently we currently have 7 dispatchers right now. And it's a lot to handle for just one person up with their training. So I'm proposing that we have a head dispatcher. That we have a dispatcher now that does the majority line share work. They don't really get anything as a benefit for that. They go above and is passed on as a regular dispatcher. I'm not saying that this person will be the head dispatcher. There's going to have to be a protocol on how we promote. But that's my first step to try to get this ordinance up and running.
any thoughts, questions, comments? All right. This ordinance can be put on for the next meeting?
Well, it's on for this
It's
meeting.
all right.
She's on?
It's on this one.
Yeah.
Which one?
First reading.
Right. I just went through this. Which one is it under? Office of Administrator?
No, it's 8.
8.
8.
Yeah.
Public Safety Department.
Public Safety Department.
Okay. Nothing good. We'll go through next meeting. All right.
Good.
Ordinance, second reading, public hearing then. We'll move to that. 2023-3, Madam Clerk.
2023-3, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank for calendar year 2023.
Make a motion to waive the full reading.
Motion has been made to waive the full reading by Council President Seula, seconded by Councilwoman Donna Ballas. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Opening this up to the public. You can come forward, ask any questions, make any statements concerning same. Please give your name and address on first call, second call, third call.
Motion to close.
Motion to close by Mr. Ginding,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Seula. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
against? The ayes have it. Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Motion to move the ordinance.
Ordinance has been moved by Mr. Ginding,
Second.
seconded by Mrs. Ballas. Discussion. This is something that we do every year, and usually goes right through. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas? Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Kurczynski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
The ordinance has been adopted. Ordinances, first reading by title only. We have quite a few of them. So beginning with 2023-4, Madam Clerk.
2023-4, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 193 entitled Vehicles and Traffic.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-4 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held at the meeting at 7 p.m. on February the 27th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
The ordinance has been moved by Councilman Seula, seconded by Councilwoman Ballas. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Kurczynski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Moving on to ordinance 2023-5. Madam Clerk.
2023-5, capital ordinance providing for the site remediation services for South River Firehouse and appropriating $65,441, therefore from the general capital fund balance, authorized in and by the Borough of South River and the County of Middlesex, New Jersey.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
The council pass ordinance 2023-5 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with the second reading and public hearing to be held at a meeting at 7 p.m. on February the 27th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom and the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second it.
Moved by Councilman Seula, seconded by Councilman Gindi. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Kurczynski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Moving on to ordinance 2023-6.
2023-6, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 155 entitled Fees.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-6 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law in the second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on February the 27th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
But not this ordinance. Go on.
Mayor, I believe, Councilman Gindi, this was the ordinance that you wanted an amendment. If you could just advise the council what the amendment was, I can do that for you. So under charges, number 1, road service, the light vehicles would be changed to 150, and the 2 towing basic would be changed to 155. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So I believe Councilman Gindi wants an amendment to this ordinance prior to putting it on for first reading.
Does anyone have any objections to this ordinance, to the changes that were just made?
No.
No. Then therefore, the motion that you have made, Council President Seula, will be for the amended ordinance, correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay then. And that would be seconded by?
Me.
Okay, Mr. Olivera. All right then. Then we're going to be voted on the amended, it was amended before officially passed, so. All right then, roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Kurczynski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-7, Madam Clerk.
2023-7, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 350 entitled Zoning.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-7 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on February the 27th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
Motion has been made by Councilman Seula, seconded by Councilwoman Ballas. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Kurczynski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-8, Madam Clerk.
2023-8, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending the Borough Code of the Borough of South River so as to amend Chapter 72 entitled Public Safety Department of.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, move that the council pass ordinance 2023-8 on its first reading by title only, and that the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on February the 27th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made by Councilman Seula, seconded by Councilman Gindi. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
And again, like all of these, we'll be revisiting them on the 27th. 2023-9, Madam Clerk.
2023-9, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 13 of the Borough Code of the Borough of South River entitled Administrator Office of.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, I move that the council pass ordinance 2023-9 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on February the 27th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building at 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second.
The moved by Councilman Seula, seconded by, we'll give it to Councilman Olivera. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-10.
2023-10, an ordinance of the Borough of South River, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, authorizing a 5-year lease to South River Historical and Preservation Society Incorporated for the property located at 64 to 66 Main Street.
Your pleasure on the ordinance.
Mayor, move that the council pass ordinance 2023-10 on its first reading by title only, and the clerk be authorized to publish the same as required by law with a second reading and public hearing to be held at 7 p.m. on February the 27th, 2023, by video conference via Zoom or in the council chambers of the Criminal Justice Building, 61 Main Street, South River, New Jersey.
Second that.
Moved by Councilman Seula, seconded by Councilman Gindi. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
We'll revisit all of these on a very busy February 27th. Going on to our reports, Mr. Koch.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. The 2020 and 2021 roads, I've issued another version of the punch list to the contractor. And once the weather warms up, I'll start riding them to get that done. The local aid for 2022, we have that project is bid and just waiting for the weather to change or the contractor to come out and start. 2023, I gave you a proposal on that. If there's anything else you want to add to that, let me know, and then I'll amend the proposal and we can move that forward. The substation maintenance, the SCADA system, and the power equipment are in, and then once that's all hooked up, they will schedule the commissioning and training. Well, number 2, the contractor's working on the punch list and the water treatment plant. The contractor doing the air gap and the backflow valve is waiting for the equipment to come in. And for the chlorine tanks, the sodium hypochlorite, we're working on the documents for that. And that is it.
Let the record show that Councilwoman Mara has joined us. Any questions for our borough engineer?
I do, Bruce.
Yes.
I do see on the agenda, too, we also have a resolution about the proposal to go inspect the 2 parks, Fitzgerald and Veteran.
Yes.
If that gets approved today, when would you do that?
Well, they have to line up the driller. I don't know what their lead time is. That comes out of one of our other offices, so I can't tell you, but if you approve it tonight, I'll be letting them know tomorrow.
Okay, and then I kind of read what it entails. How long would something like that be there?
How long would it be there?
Like, because it says to check, I
Oh,
guess, the wells.
monitoring?
Yes.
Probably through the spring, I'm guessing, and I can find out more for you, but you want to see what the seasonally high water table is. But it's not going to be a big hole in the ground, it's going to be a...
Okay. That was just my question, because like, it being a park and kids going
Understood.
through there all the time,
And
I
it'll
just
be
wanted to
done
know.
kind of away from the fields. I
Okay,
believe it'll be between the substation and the basketball court area. That's where I'm envisioning it.
okay.
Well, I'll let them make that decision, but that seems to be where it's really outcropping.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Mayor.
Mr. Zanga?
The only thing I have, Mayor, is the first reading of the capital ordinance. This was funding received from the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. So after next meeting, you'll have second reading, and then there'll be a resolution for CME to continue the remediation work. So this funding came from the NJEDA. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions for our CFO? Nothing? No? Just a minute to our fire chief.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Mayor? Thank you. Just so you guys know, in 2022, we ended the year with 458 calls for between active alarms, CO, fire, other mutual aids into the conflict cerebral. This year, right now, we're at 44 for the month and where we are in February. I had spoken to Joe. We had an opportunity to file for an AFG grant for radios to help the borough for the fire department, because as everybody knows, our radios are no longer serviceable. They break, we're done. They can't be fixed. They can't be. It's either we have another radio that we put, make pieces of, or basically we have to, hopefully it's covered under insurance and we can get a new one. But our radios are very expensive because they're dual bands, because of so many other towns going to higher frequency. Our radios that we have right now, except for the 3 chiefs and I believe the Station 1, the only ones that can theoretically talk to outside companies coming in. So we're trying to get this grant. Hopefully we get it. Like I said, before I applied for it, I had spoken to the CFO to make sure everything was okay with it. It went in for 400, I think it was 453,000. So not saying that we're gonna get everything, we could get a portion of it, we could get it all. But I had help from a friend of mine who has written grants for other towns and has gotten the grants for them for the radios. So hopefully it's a good shot. It didn't cost the town any money. So with the permission, I believe they are going to award it in June, somewhere around June time. So I'll keep it. CFO wants to hear about it. He's going to be, notified himself. I have a question for the council. You guys last year approved our Scott Packs program. It was a 3-year. We have gotten the delivery of the first training on it as council president. Yes. They're new packs. There's a process that we have to go through. But my concern is that I was told today that they are going up in price considerably. Okay? I got a new quote, and everything that we need 20 packs left that we have to buy. Okay? And we need 4 RIT packs. Tony can explain to them. They're the packs we use if we have to rescue a downed firefighter. Okay? The old ones will not work with the new packs. The new packs will not work with our running breathing system. It will not work with the new packs. So right now I have 15 new packs out of 35 that I have. Okay, so if my 15 guys go in and they all go in and they start doing their thing, and we have to start now interchanging people to, for manpower to give them a break. The next guy that goes in, he may have an older pack, and God forbid one of those guys go down, he can't buddy breathe. He can't give him his air if he needs it, because the old packs won't work with it. So I called today and I was talking to the gentleman. Right now, for the 20 packs, that if we were to buy them just say today, okay, before the price increase, it's $186,822. Okay, with a $2,700 for one of the RIP packs, because we're buying the packs, they're giving us 3 RIP packs for free, at no cost. So I need one more RIP pack that I have to buy, which is $2,700, which comes out to $189,522. We're getting a $16,000 credit for our old packs to trade in. Once we have our new packs, we trade the old, they take the old packs in and they do whatever they want. Because they are also no longer serviceable by Scott. They don't make the parts for them, they don't make anything for them. So if anything breaks on our old packs, it's in the garbage. So you guys allotted, from what I understand, the same amount as last year for this year at $120,000, correct? Which is what I spent last year.
Nothing's been decided yet.
Okay,
It goes through the
well,
committee.
but according to the program that you guys, we're supposed to split it up in 3 years.
That was discussed
Okay,
last year.
so if last year we did we did just that amount. So if we do if we figured on $120,000 for this year, going by what you guys had, talked about, you're gonna need an additional $53,522 to finish the program. That would be, now I was told today that the packs are, I sent an email to Joe and to Art and explained to them, this year, if they went up, because I was told it was going up between 8 to 10%. So if you go with 8%, which I did, it's $20,000 more you're gonna have to spend this year on packs. Okay? Just to buy, just part of the program, whatever you were gonna buy, if you bought the same amount as you did last year, to split it up into the 3 years, it's an additional $20,000. Well, I was told it's more than 8% today. It's a considerable, it's more like 15%. So that amount goes even higher. And next year, they're also going to do it. So I am trying to save the borough money. 2, I'm trying to save, it's with a possible life hazard for our guys, because we can't interchange. If one guy goes down and and it happens to be the wrong pack, or if a guy's down in the building, now I have to ask, which pack did he have, so I can send the right pack in. So it delays the time of the guys going in also. So it's kind of a life safety issue for my guys. Alright, so I was told they're going to raise the amount in April. Don't have to pay for them. I understand, Joe, I understand what you're gonna say, but my question is, if we could order them before April, okay, it'll be a 6 to 8 month lead till we get them. So I don't know what the council's pleasure's on it, I'm just giving you the information to try and save some money, to try and get the program done. I'm gonna be selfish, it's a life hazard for me that I don't want, that I have to be responsible as the chief. The other chiefs also, okay? So I don't wanna, I would rather, see what we can do to get this done. Alright, so that's where we stand with the PAC program, okay? As far as, I understand, Mayor, talking to last year's chief, Mr. Smith, William Smith, that you had a conversation with him about possibly changing fire prevention. You know where we stand with that, how we're going? Is there any idea? Nobody has said anything to the fire department.
As I understood it, that was discussed with Chief Smith last year. Did he share it with you?
He just said you guys were entertaining some things and that was it. And I'm asking you,
Mhm.
what, have you entertained anything yet?
Nothing's,
Where are we at with it?
We're
Have you
just-
moved on it? Have you not moved on it?
we have not moved on anything. We will be discussing it. I believe we're going to be discussing that in closed. We will be discussing that in closed, but no final decisions have been made.
Before a final decision is made, can the fire department be involved in the discussion with that?
Sit down with
Because
me.
it will affect us as a fire department.
I would suggest that you sit down with Mr. Lundensky and also with Mr. Zenga and discuss both issues. Unfortunately, unlike the state and federal government, there's only so much money to go around. And if you get all your fire packs now, you're not going to get something else, this year. There's only so much that we can spend on these things. Right now, we're looking at a truck, which also has been going up ridiculously amounts. Into hundreds of thousands of dollars every year for the same item. You just said your pack is going up by some 15%. It's the same pack that was on March 31st as it is on April 1st. It's just going to go up in price. And of course, the way that they do this is a little game that they play is that you can't have one deal with the older version. You have to get a new one. So.
I mean, our older packs.
Mhm.
Our older packs are out of NFPA compliant by a number of years.
Mhm.
So I mean, we've been, so to speak, kicking the can down the street for a while now, and it's unfortunate, that this is happening. And like I said, I'm more concerned with the life safety. I'm sorry that it's going to cost the borough money, but is my life worth $53,000?
We're not discussing that. What we're discussing is you've got X amount of dollars. If you want this and we're going to do this to protect your life, okay, but you're not going to get something else. It's as simple as that. There's only so much to go around. So it's going to have to be, maybe you're going to have to decide, okay, we're going to go for the packs, go for the radios, whatever that's going to cost us because grants never cover everything. And what are we going to take off? So my recommendation is you talk to Mr. Lundensky and Mr. Zenga. You could see them tonight and discuss that both with them concerning both issues.
Chief, I'm sorry, Mayor. I'm not a firefighter, so I apologize. I don't understand the lingo. What does NPA compliance mean?
NFPA.
I'm sorry.
Fire protection. It's a guideline that we follow we're kind of, with POSHA, we're kind of governed by. Like they put out it's kind of like your ordinance. Okay, they put out something and we have to follow it. Okay, and unfortunately, certain items that I believe it was 2011, 12, I think, out of with the pack compliance, but because we didn't buy any new packs, when we go for the new packs, we would have to be to the standard. Our packs are to that standard. Back in 2012, I believe it is, something like that. 4 years.
So can we get in trouble for this, or?
I mean, we have a program in place. I'm sure they could give us a hard time about it, things, but I can't say yes or no.
Yeah, I think I'll speak for myself, but I think everyone up here agrees, especially being firefighters. Last thing is we want anyone to feel like their life is in jeopardy, going into a fire. So I do think the mayor is correct in saying, this is definitely a priority that I think we definitely have to look into and see what we can do, Joe, budget-wise, to at least get them the remaining packs that they need to make sure that everyone,
About the bid, we don't just use one vendor and let them hold us hostage to whatever increases they want. We go out to bid, let's see if there's other vendors out there with a price, maybe it's more affordable. The problem is, it won't be ready by April, so if this goes up by April, either you do a separate bond ordinance just for that only, or you wait We could do one bond ordinance to save money down after the budget's adopted, but this you'd have to do just on this by itself,
Right.
you know? I think maybe we should go out to bid and see if there's other vendors that have a better price. But we'll talk, I mean, Art and I can talk, right? We'll talk.
Yeah.
Because this is under state contract.
The contract's not always the cheapest.
Cheapest, yeah.
So if they're gonna hold this hostage where in April it's gonna go up significantly, maybe we go out to bid and see if there's other vendors out there that can give us a better deal.
By the way, if there is a different vendor, does their pack able to handle it?
As long as it's a Scott pack.
Yeah.
It has to be a Scott vendor,
Yeah.
it can't be an MSA
Can't be
vendor,
yeah.
because the MSA do not work with Scotts,
Yeah.
okay? Just also in mind that they're giving us the 3 RIP packs where you go out to bid, it might cost you an additional $8,000 because that's the price of the 3 packs they're giving us.
Mhm.
So it might go up, I mean, I know $1,000, but it might,
I am.
Everything helps in this town.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else, sir?
Yeah, just to piggyback off this, and ease your minds as the mayor and council, it wasn't like the company Scott came up with this fitting and said, well, if you buy this, then you're gonna have to alter the rest of your air packs. This actually went to litigation to Supreme Court with the new fit, and they went against it, so here we are with a different fitting, and therefore, at this point in time, just like Scott said, we are at pretty much a liability issue where if I'm wearing an old pack, he's wearing a new pack, if I run out of air, I have nothing to look into. So now we have to play this, we have to go back to the chiefs as well, and is it even worth putting these new packs in service yet? Liability. I mean, I understand, I'm not gonna say a fire apparatus is in a way a safety piece of equipment either, but I might be crucified for saying this, those packs are more important than the apparatus.
Okay,
but also
Yeah.
on the same token, is the apparatus is gonna take a number of years. I mean, I don't even know what stages the new apparatus is, you know, where the company is in designing or finalizing anything. So, I mean, you could be talking, that apparatus that you're speaking of could be on next year's budget, or it could be a year after that. I don't know, but unfortunately, I have to worry about it right now.
yeah, we hear you, we understand. So, okay, all right, thank you, gentlemen.
Joe, with that, what he just said, is that possible it could be done this year, the Scott packs?
You have to pass a bond ordinance. Yeah. Originally, when we spoke last year with the chief, it was gonna be over a 3-year plan, it was gonna be 125 last year, 125 this year, 125 next year. If the Scott packs are out, that need to be repaired, then maybe you do them all right now, but you have to pass a bond ordinance, you know, we have to have down payment money. Next meeting, I'm doing a temporary budget, I'll put money in there for down payment money for it, you know, and then you guys decide whether you wanna vote on it or not. I think the mayor is right, there's a pot of money in total, you know. I mean, the budget committee usually decides on what they present for capital work, you know, so this will be done really before the budget committee meets and decides, so if the council agrees, then, you know.
Well, the budget committee will be meeting before our next meeting.
Oh, yeah,
You can report back to us as to what is the recommendation,
okay.
and then put it on the agenda. Very good. Okay, thank you. Gentlemen? Mr. Soares?
Calendars have come in. They can be picked up at the 48 Washington Street, 55 Reed, the library, the DPW office, and also we're giving them out Saturday at the recycling center from 8 to 12. And we are going to have a paper shred event. It's going to be May 20th from 9 to 12 at the DPW yard. Closer, I'll put a mixer out, put out tape.
And that'll be from 9 to 12,
9 to 12 was till the trucks are done.
May 20th. Okay, good. All right, then.
Paige, can you send Kim an email with that information on it? 'Cause I know a lot of the seniors at the last meeting, they were very upset about it wasn't on the list and all of that, so if you can,
The problem was we weren't picked by the county.
yeah, and I explained that at the meeting after I spoke with you, but if you can just, Yeah, send her an email letting her know so she can get it out to everybody.
Very good. Chief?
Mayor, besides the dispatcher ordinance, just let everyone know, we're still looking for a full-time. And also, anybody, this is down 48 Washington Street. Lastly, I just want to congratulate Lieutenant Mike Kucharski, who is retired first after 26 years in the department, and just recently
Very good. Madam Clerk, anything to report?
No.
Madam Attorney?
I actually just have one thing, if the mayor wouldn't mind. For next meeting, could we put the lead paint ordinance on the agenda session to discuss?
Yes.
The governing body is required to adopt a ordinance that permits lead paint inspections in single-family, single-family and multiple rental dwelling, two-family and multiple rental dwelling homes. We have to adopt this ordinance. And I think we just need to discuss the particulars, and then we can potentially put it on for first reading.
Okay, we'll put that on for the agenda session. Okay.
Mayor, thank
Sir?
you. As you can see on resolution number 84, the roof replacement project is completed. This is the final payment and the closeout change. I can report that after waiting 9 months for the backwash pump, it's been installed. We have been backwashing our system. This plant has been down while we made that repair. It's up and running. I can also report that today we started running plant pump 2R, well 2R, through the system. So we are making progress. That's all I have.
Okay. All right, then going on to our council reports, Council Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do want to apologize for being late this evening. I had a cheerleading meeting, as you guys know, yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, yesterday. It's been a long weekend. I'm sorry. The South River Rec cheerleaders had their very first competition. And although none of the teams placed, it was a fun and crazy experience for these girls ages 5 through 14 to finally get out there for the season and be able to perform to people. So I just want to congratulate them for their hard work. They'll have another competition this Saturday in Howell. We have some news from our Shade Tree Environmental Commission, but I will leave it up to our chair, who's here this evening, to then give some news that we have from that board. And my library board meeting isn't until next week, so I don't have much to comment on that. I just want to ask if I could put to be read separately Resolution 93, 97, and 101. And that's all I have for now, Mr. Mayor.
93, 97, 101.
Yeah.
93, 97, 101.
101.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman Gerchensky.
Thank you, Mayor. Our Office on Aging, our driver is scheduled to come back, so our shuttles around town and for appointments will be taking place again. Tomorrow they're having one event, but I believe it's closed up right now. They have one more event coming up at the end of the month, the monthly mingle, and that is, you have to sign up for it because there's only so many places that we could go for the event. I believe there's still time to actually sign up. Actually, last week, the Office on Aging had a financial abuse on identity theft and for the seniors and everything. I believe they're going to be planning to have another seminar on attempted fraud and elder fraud. The South River Police and the Office on Aging are going to be doing this together. And if you feel that you're a victim or anything like that right now too, you can call up the police department at 732-238-1000 and report the particular incident and everything, and we shall investigate about it. With that, that's all I have right now, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Olivera.
Good evening, everyone. As Councilwoman Mara mentioned, our cheerleading program had a competition yesterday. Although they didn't place, they did an awesome job. Just really excited to see that program get off the ground. Terry and Jessica are finalizing winter sports right now and gearing up for spring. One of the things I did want to bring up, I know we're not made out of money in this borough. Everything matters. But I really want us as a council to try to find an alternative for space. We're struggling right now. And this is a double-edged sword. We've grown our rec program so much that right now we just don't have anywhere for cheerleading. Our wrestling team is always competing away, essentially. They're in the cafeteria, which poses a threat. I think it's time that we as a borough try to find an alternative to coming up with something. I know I've spoken to Joe. We don't have money to, build this beautiful building like Piscataway. But something has to be out there where, we can try to make a difference for the kids. Right now, we're at the mercy of the Board of Ed. And as we all know, we build schools with no gyms. So everyone is trying to fight over the same space. So, if there's any ideas that you guys have as council, Art, Joe, anything, please let us know. Because right now, we're just so limited in what we have. And it's really unfortunate because we can continue to grow. But if we do, it will be at our demise because we can't service everyone. So, if we work together, I do think we can accomplish something in regards to this. That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Seula?
Thank you. Just real quick, EDC will be meeting tomorrow. They have a new location, which will be at the VFW at 7 o'clock. And next Tuesday will be the planning board meeting, 21st.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Councilwoman Ballas?
Yeah, my committees will be meeting within the next 2 weeks. So the Board of Health and the Cultural Arts, I will have reports from them at our next council meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Councilman Gindi?
Municipal Alliance, the chili cook-off is now set for March 25th, which is going to be held at the VFW from 12 to 2 o'clock, which is located at 31 Reed Street. If you think you have it to make it, join. Try to get yourself in there and see if you win. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Thank you. The only thing I was going to hold this off, but since Councilman Guczynski mentioned it, yes, on February 2nd, the South River Police Department Special Operations Community Policing Unit hosted the presentation at the Office on Aging concerning financial abuse, identity theft, and scams. It was quite sobering. I was not able to attend it, but some of the things that I heard were that in the last 11 months, borough residents ranging in age from 56 to 84 years have fallen victim to some form of elder fraud and have lost a staggering $864,000. And that's right here. The scammers target the elderly because they believe that they have savings, they have money, and they have fast access to the cash. And of course, they apparently share with each other. They sell soft target lists. If they get one, well, they'll tell their buddies, hey, this one's an easy mark, go after them. The Office on Aging is going to continue to work with the police department to educate our seniors by sharing new information as it becomes available. I'm either going to set up a special advisory committee or have the Office on Aging's advisory committee work on this, because it's not something that you have at just one seminar and that's it. It's got to be constant. The seniors have got to be reminded this is happening, and it's so very, very simple. I know that an executive director of an organization that I have, that I deal with, she had her email hacked, and lo and behold, their emails are coming supposedly from her, and it isn't. They got hold of the whole system, and the whole system is down now, and you don't know what to believe, but there are little things that you can look for, and the police did put out a little brochure about it, that things to look at, and just in the back of your head, think about. And if you have any questions, call the police, call the Office on Aging. Kim and her staff will help you. But by all means, be careful no matter what your age is. Okay. Having our comments there, we will now go to public comments of, you'll have 10 minutes to speak. Please give your name and address. Mr. Byrne.
Richard Byrne, 11 Bissett Place, South River, speaking as your environmental/shade tree/green team chair. I did read the ordinance 23-7, where this was my proposal. You did address the two purely technical problems, the one where 20 was omitted, and the one where the potentially ambiguous language has been corrected so that there's no potential for it to be ambiguous. I talked 2 meetings ago maybe about the fourth part was the increasing the fees, and I said then that's your purview to set the dollar amount, and you've spoken here in your proposal, so I'm not going to press that any further. The third part was the accumulation of the ranges, which I sort of in my original email said was a technical, and Andrea said it's a fee increase, which it's technically both, right? Because it does increase the fees for 11 or more. But so the way it is now and it's proposed, it doesn't accumulate the ranges. So there's 2 cliffs. So it's 250 for the first 10, and so 10 is 2,500. 11 goes to the next range. So 11 is actually 1150, less than 10. And then it goes up by 150 to 20 trees would be $3,000. Then it goes to the next range, and 21 would be 1050. So it doesn't seem right that 49 trees at 2450 is less than 10 trees at 2500, and 59 trees at 2950 is less than 20 trees at 3000. So I would ask you to reconsider the accumulation, making the first 10 250, the second 10 150, and then beyond that an additional 30. So it's the same language that's in the fee existing, so that, and we already, that's how you do it when you get the application at the link. So that's my request on this one. Second on my chair, we had Dorianne Kerber finished and submitted the Sustainable Jersey $20,000 grant. This grant is going to cover the installation of 3 rain garden rainwater management features, landscape features. She already met with the superintendent, and they've identified 5 sites at the public school campus. We'd like to do 2 at the school and 1 on public property, and we're kind of looking at the Fitzpatrick Park adjacent to the substation, where we could direct rainwater from the substation into the rain garden. If that's not available, we'll look at other sites. But we've gotten the Rutgers Department of Landscape Architecture is going to do the complete landscape design for us. Got volunteers at the school who are going to help with our junior member, Gabriel Nera, leading the student volunteer effort. We're going to look into asking Public Works to help with some of the excavation of the existing soil. We will have more concrete details when we get the design from Rutgers.
I would suggest you talk to Mr. Koch, because Mr. Koch is also working at Fitzpatrick's Field, so you don't want you both working at cross purposes.
We'll definitely do that.
Okay.
So, and the third thing was, you've all heard about the terrible tragedy that unfolded in Sayreville with one of their councilwomen. And, just another thing you got to be concerned about. But condolences to all of the people involved and the Sayreville people. But, I've come here and said this before, and it doesn't get said often enough. So many times people come up here, they're angry about something, something you did wrong, or something they need, something they want. And I want to say, again, from the heart, your work here is appreciated. Your efforts are appreciated. And I'm grateful we have people willing to take this on and run this stuff. And, many people feel the same way, but happy people don't come and complain. So I wanted to say, you guys are definitely appreciated by me and many other people. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Does anyone else want to come and say nice things about us? First call, second call, third call.
Motion to close.
Motion has been made to close by Mr. Gindi, seconded by Mr. Sula. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Moving then on, there are no mayoral appointments. However, we do have our consent resolutions. Madam Clerk?
Whereas Resolution 2023-01 authorizes the Borough Council to utilize the consent agenda to adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time. Now therefore be it and is hereby resolved that the below listed resolutions are hereby adopted by the Borough Council in whole as if the same were individually acted upon. Consent Resolutions 2023-83 to 2023-101. 83, resolution authorizing CME Associates to perform the survey of the electric utility. 84, authorizing pay estimate number 5 and closeout change order for roof replacement and repairs project. 85, appoint Daniel Kimmel as probationary firefighter for the South River Fire Department. 86, authorizing the requisition of funds for payment to the custodian of the school monies. 87, resolution authorizing the execution of a developers agreement. 88, authorizing CME to provide engineering services for Fitzpatrick and Veteran Field soil investigation. 89, appoint a full-time crossing guard. 90, resolution authorizing the execution of a shared services agreement. 91, appointment of William Alfrey as a junior firefighter. 92, authorizing the submission for the Middlesex County Enhanced Recycling Grant. 94, authorizing an abandoned vehicle auction. 95, resolution authorizing certain utility refunds. 96, appoint Board of Health members. 98, accept January 23rd, 2023 regular and executive session minutes. 99, authorize the bills and claims list. 100, resolution authorizing the appointment of Office on Aging employees.
Your pleasure on the resolutions.
Move it.
Move the resolutions by Mrs. Balance, seconded by, I don't know, who hasn't said anything yet?
Jason.
Peter's always talking, so.
Oh, all right, Mr. Gindi then.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes, with abstentions to 85 and 91.
Councilman Krasinski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes, with the abstentions 85, 91, and on 99, number 22-03304.
Okay, Resolution 93, resolution authorizing the execution of a contract of sale of borough property. Whereas the Borough of South River has title to Block 151, Lot 2.01 in the borough.
To waive the full reading.
Motion has been made to waive the full reading by Councilman Olivera, seconded by Councilman Gindi. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? The ayes have it. Your pleasure on the resolution.
Make a motion to move the resolution.
The resolution has been moved by Mr. Seula, seconded by Mr. Gindi. Comments, questions?
I just had a quick question. What was the location of this block and lot?
The small piece that you authorized us to offer George Street. You authorized us to offer to the adjacent property owner, Hamilton Street Development, back in December.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure which one.
Any other one? Anybody else? Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas? Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Krochensky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Resolution 97, resolution in support of liquor license reform. Whereas the state of New Jersey's liquor license laws date back.
Motion to waive the full reading.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Olivera to waive the full reading, seconded by Mr. Gindi. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Your pleasure on the resolution.
The
Resolution has been moved by Mr. Gindi,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Seula. Comments, questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to know who put this on the agenda for this evening.
I did, at the
And,
request of Downtown New Jersey. Downtown New Jersey is a group that we use for a lot of information for our revitalization of Main Street. What this is support of Governor Murphy's plan to reform the antiquated liquor license laws.
okay, and how would that benefit our borough? Just asking in a way of being able to give more liquor licenses, or is it just a way of,
This is what they know. The liquor license population caps will raise gradually each year so as not to flood the market. New licenses will be created and issued at a set price. There will be equity considerations in pricing. New licenses will give full spirit wine, beer privileges. New licenses will be non-transferable. Towns will retain complete control over the issuance of licenses in their communities. BYOB is still an option for restaurants not seeking their new license. Legislation will also address current restrictions on brewery, distillery, and winery license holders. Legislation will include compensation to existing active plenary liquor license holders. If you want to know more how it will help downtown, the current cost of a liquor license average around $300,000. But there have been instances of costs exceeding $1 million. An obvious financial hindrance to small business owners. A capped price on non-transferable licenses make liquor licenses attainable to a larger group of businesses and owners. Sometimes they can benefit and neighborhoods, not just wealthy neighborhoods. Small businesses tend to cluster around flagships like full-service restaurants, and thus expanding licenses to allow more full-service restaurants and will in turn expand the economic growth opportunities in our downtowns.
okay, I completely agree with you. A few years ago, when we went down to Atlantic City to go to attend some of those classes, there was a town in South Jersey who revitalized their whole town by the borough actually giving out their licenses. So it is something that is being done already. And what they did was they were able to give the license to a business, and once that business was gone, that license would be gone as well. They couldn't give it to somebody else. So I just asked to read it separately because I do know other towns, downtowns in South Jersey are doing similar things right now to help their small downtowns, and just want to see, I'm hopeful that something will come out of this.
Well, that's the key thing. This is supporting, trying to push the legislature, let's do something about this. what's going to come out of it at the end, heaven knows. So
Well-
at least we're trying to push them in the direction of, hey, at least take a look at this.
Well, yeah, I always thought because we're so limited with our licenses in town, and we've got a lot of people who hold their licenses in their pocket, they don't even use them, kind of as a security for them. But other towns are already municipally, like, controlling who they give those license to. And once that business is gone, so does that license, so that people don't hold it as like a security for retirement or what they do with their liquor licenses. I just brought it up because I really thought, hopefully this maybe opens up what we have, since we can't have any more licenses in our town with the limited of liquor license that we have. But so many people have them in their pocket that it's not beneficial to the borough at the moment. So
Very
that was
good.
it.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Okay, it's been adopted.
Resolution 101, resolution approving the Borough Administrator contract. Be it and it is hereby resolved by the Mayor and the Borough Council.
Motion waive the full reading.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made to waive the full reading by Councilman Seula, seconded by Councilman Gindi. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. Your pleasure on the resolution.
Move the
The
resolution.
resolution has been moved by Mr. Seula,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Gertenski. Comments, questions?
I just want to confirm that this was the contract that we received by email, the last one that Alyssa emailed us. Was it
Yes.
Alyssa?
No changes.
Okay.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas?
Yes.
Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Gertenski?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Seula?
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Lundensky. You are now official.
All this time.
There is no new business, so we are up to governing body comments. Let's say begin with Councilwoman Mayor. I'll begin with Councilman Gindi then.
Thank you. As you all know, the 2023 calendars are out. You can find them at the Department of Public Works, the library, right here at 48 Washington, or at the Office of Aging. Please come down and get your calendar. Over the weekend, I had the opportunity to go see the South River Rams boys basketball team. They improved 23-2 on their season after beating North Brunswick yesterday in the GMC tournament. The Rams were led by the senior Laz Rodriguez, who scored 20 points along with 12 rebounds and 7 blocked shots. The Rams face South Brunswick Wednesday night at 5 p.m. in the semifinals at the Monroe High School. Please come out and support these guys. They're out of control. I got the opportunity to see them. Councilman Oliver and I had a very, very good time yesterday. So please come out, as well as I believe the mayor was there too. Now I know in the last couple of months after the the Board of Education reform referendum was introduced and it did not pass, there was a lot of interesting chit-chat over social media. One of the biggest things that bothered me was that they were being blamed for the brown water. The brown water is the South River Borough's issue. It does not belong to the Board of Education. We are trying to resolve the problem. It's not going to work overnight. This is something that's going to take some serious time for us to get rid of the brown water issue. But moving forward, I know a lot of people were afraid of high taxes if the school actually got passed, or for that matter, what's going to happen with the stadium. I know for a fact that they are working on this right now as we speak. They're trying to find alternatives. I had the opportunity to actually introduce them to one alternative, which I hope it works for them, which would save the town millions of dollars. So please understand that we have no association with them when it comes down to what they're trying to do with their school system. So keep that in mind. Outside of that, happy Valentine's to everyone. That's all I got.
Thank you. Mrs. Ballas?
Yeah, I just want to say, with the unseasonably warm weather, which, knows, just be careful with the kids. I've seen, and the kids also have to be careful. They're on their scooters, they're on their bikes. I get it, they're happy, but I witnessed one the other night that I won't forget. It was dark, Willett Johnson Place. The kid flew right through the stop sign. The person in front of me, I don't know how they stopped, honestly and truly. I was right behind them. Everyone just has to take special care and follow the law. I know the kids are out and they're enjoying the weather, but just be aware. The kids have to be aware just as well as the drivers. I want to wish the boys basketball team good luck this coming game. I wish the games were in at 5 o'clock because I can't go. But Friday, if they win Wednesday, they will play Friday, correct?
That's correct.
That I can go to. Just on a side note, Chief, I'm sorry for your loss yesterday. I know you were rooting for those Eagles.
I was hoping to bring it up myself.
But you know what? It was a great game. It was a great game. And you have next year. Yeah, okay. In case you want to offer that. No, you only get 3 because that was the difference in the score.
Yeah.
3 days, okay? And to everybody here, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Oliveira?
Yeah, as everyone's mentioned, congratulations to the boys basketball team. Our Lady Rams are also in the state playoffs. They are facing Metuchen. They're gearing up for postseason play. So if you can go out and support, it was great seeing everyone yesterday. Ton of old faces, some of my colleagues from high school. They're doing extremely well. As Ms. Ballas also mentioned, it is nice outside. There's a ton of stuff going on. Please be mindful of the children. I live next to a park. Unfortunately, it's not how the old days where, they're just crossing streets and hoping that no one is driving by. So be mindful of that, and that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Vuchensky?
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank all of our public safety workers and everything, our police, fire, Robert Wood, IMT, and especially our DPW for the work that they do through the town, keeping it safe and orderly. Like everyone has said, reiterate, it's gotten warmer. Please be mindful of some of these children, especially parents. Remind your children, don't be looking at your phone when you're crossing the street. Be aware of that traffic, because that truck can't stop as quick as you possibly think it can. Same thing too with grandparents and everyone else. With that, be on the lookout for children, like I said, like everyone else has said too. And that's pretty much it. Enjoy your Valentine's Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Mara?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, I'd like to say I'm sorry I did miss the beginning portion of our meeting. There was a lot. At first, for first reading, I do have some questions, if I could ask them now, since I wasn't here. 2023-4, I saw that we're asking for no parking on certain hours on David Street. I have a concern that this is just going to bring more issues for parents regarding parking. We already have a large portion of David Street where we don't allow parents to park in the morning. Adding to that, I think is just going to make it a larger challenge. I say this because I'm there every morning. I know we're constantly saying that the school is a walking district. Me personally, living on Main Street, I don't think I will ever allow my kids to walk to school in the morning. They have this year, and I felt like my heart was in my hands until they got to school. It's, especially with all the accidents that I've seen on Main Street, but I'm just concerned with, delaying the kids getting to school and parents not being able to park there. I know it's just on first reading, but if we can have, a bigger discussion on it with how we got to the conclusion of wanting to add more no parking in that area,
Well, where did it come from? I believe it was
I think
Chief?
I'm trying to see, I think it's just an adjustment of the time. I think there's there between certain times. I think this is an adjustment
It kind of looked like that it went a little further.
by a half hour.
No, the spread of the no parking, because right now the no parking is only right at the primary school. I think now it says it would go all the way down to Lexington. If I'm understanding, like, is it adding additional? Because that's how I read it. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I thought it was just adjusting.
Just the time frame? Okay.
All right.
Because when I first read it, when I first read it, I thought we were, adding more of that side that was going to be no parking. Just the time frame. Okay.
Well, for the next meeting, you'll have an answer to that question. Okay? Very good.
Okay, and then 2023-7, I think our chair of our Shade Tree Commission made a very big valid point regarding how we're changing the pricing of paying for the trees that are being removed. It's a big concern, and we see that our Shade Tree Commission really doesn't support the way the layout of payment for these tree removals. So if you can all look a little deeper into this, please, and see that we see the concern with flooding and removal and not being able to replace the trees that are being removed. So please take this into consideration for second reading at our next meeting. I am very excited that the Board of Education has allowed us to implement those rain gardens on their property. I was asking Bruce regarding the Fitzpatrick Park because I did know that that's where we wanted our third rain garden. So hopefully that could be done, because I know everybody's very enthusiastic in wanting to start and finish the project rather quickly into the spring. So just keep a lookout for that, and hopefully we can work together in improving our open space. 2023-8. I just want to make sure that that was just the one that was left here on our desk. That was, okay. And the 9 is just the new position that we're trying to implement within the administration department. And that is a part-time position, Mayor?
Yes.
Okay. Other than that, I did express my concerns the other day regarding the outage that we had within our borough with Comcast. The borough did receive an all-day outage that they did not have phone or internet at some of our borough locations. I'm just curious to know if we still have any air cards from our phone company. Joe, do you know? Do we use them? Okay. Is that within the borough where there was where we had an outage? Like, okay, so just a thought, if we have an outage within the borough and we have air cards that could possibly be used, and I guess just expressing or giving that information to the borough residents. I know I did receive a phone call from a resident that did call the borough, and they were like, it's just going to voicemail. So I tried, and I called all the extensions, and nobody answered because we didn't have any phone at the borough that whole day. So I know we're pushing big on social media now. If we can get information like that out when it happens, just like so our residents don't think we're ignoring them during work hours. That was just something I wanted to state. And I am very glad that Mr. Oliveira is pushing the need for a rec center. I know with all these programs coming out for the springtime, if you saw a list of all the great things they want to do, a rec center would be ideal. I know we're always trying to look for space to use and how we can improve the way that we do things within the borough. So I'm glad to see that somebody's looking out for the kids, and hopefully it's a bigger discussion we can have, especially with maybe our budget committee for this year. I don't know if you guys sat down yet or not, but things are changing, and I'm hoping in a better direction. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Council President Seula?
Thank you. Just to come back with the trees, the Shade Tree Committee has a $30,000 trust for trees, plus their annual budget. So that does take care of a lot of trees that need to be planted. The problem is, we're trying to get contractors and businesses into town. We don't want to deter them. I know Councilwoman Mira was upset about a $50 fee for registering an insurance policy, and on the other hand, wants to raise the tree fees to bring them up to deter a contractor or a business coming into town. So we have to be very careful. It was lowered for a reason, to bring in some new contractors, and new development. We do have a couple contractors in town now that have been approved for some buildings, some houses, which is going to create tax revenue to help the borough and continue moving forward for the progress, to move everything forward. So that's the big thing with the trees and all of that stuff with the pricing. We need to continue to look for contractors and businesses. The EDC and the Alliance are working diligently on downtown redevelopment. So that's huge. And we're trying to get everything going there. We're applying for grants. The Alliance is working on different things for redevelopment. What's a redevelopment zone? Which properties are already in the redevelopment zone? So once that's established, if a business wants to move in there, or a contractor wants to redevelop it, they can just go in, it's already set, and they can just start to do it. And that's the biggest key, is getting in the tax ratables and the downtown businesses, all the mom and pop stores, helping them out. So that's, just wanted to clarify that. And just, our ordinances that we're passing on first reading, we do get the ordinances and all the information the Friday before our meetings. So, any questions, we'll try and get answers before the meeting, so we can report back and not have to worry about asking them at the meeting. We can get them beforehand. There's a lot of very good people that work for the borough that can give you an answer either on a Friday or a Monday, so we all have that answer when we come to the meeting. And with that, Mayor, that's all I have, and I just want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. I always try to push things that are going on in town. Like, for example, the Lions Club of South River is having its pancake breakfast on March 19th. The Knights of Columbus just had one on Sunday. While I was there, two people asked me some questions. One concerned riding bicycles on a sidewalk. And we do have an ordinance about that. Any person riding a bicycle on a sidewalk shall, meaning will, yield to pedestrians, in company with other bicycle riders, ride only in a single file, ride at a reduced speed in the presence of pedestrians. They're rather commonsensical requirements, because the person said that she walks out on the road because she's afraid of the bicyclist on the sidewalk. Be courteous, share. Also, the other person complained about garbage downtown. And I've noticed that myself. And this is for everybody. If you don't pack your garbage up properly, it flies around. It makes its way around the town. Pick up after yourselves. Make sure the garbage is put into a container. Make sure it doesn't go flying around. I know it's hard. It seems like every time we have recycling, we're always having a storm blowing it around. But try to, be smart, take care of things, and, keep our town clean. What can you say? Rodriguez, Santos, the basketball team, really doing well. Wednesday, 5 o'clock in Monroe. If you can come. We have good crowd. It's good to see the school students there, supporting the basketball team. It's good that they get together and show school spirit. That's a good thing. And I wish them the very best. I had a meeting with the county representatives for the small business and real estate development. It was a good start. And we're going to keep in contact with them, and they'll keep in contact with us concerning redeveloping the downtown. A reminder about the Anchor program. The deadline is coming up for applications. Get them in by February the 28th. Get your money back. It's not, I was going to say it's free money, but it isn't. It's our money. So apply. Doesn't hurt. On a rather somber note, I attended the Eunice Drumford Memorial. It was quite emotional. The Sayreville mayor gave made a very good statement, and Eunice's running mate was quite emotional. Our hope and prayers are that the officials will find who was the killer, and also, if you can remember in your prayers, the other council member who was killed, who was up in Milford, that they know who did it. But still, as Mr. Burns said, this can be a dangerous job. We don't realize it, but we're up here to volunteer and to help you people. Again, let me say, I thought I had it. Elder fraud, that's what the little, it looks like. You can get it from the police or Office on Aging, and if you don't belong to the Office on Aging, why don't you belong to the Office on Aging? It's an excellent organization run by Kim Bell and her staff. By all means, please, again, be careful out there, because it can happen to the best of us. Happy Valentine's to all. We will meet on the 27th. We are going to go into closed session to discuss some matters, but essentially the meeting is finished. May I have the resolution to go into closed?
2023-102, whereas Section 8 of Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the general public from a meeting of the governing body under certain circumstances. And whereas the mayor and council of the borough of South River are of the opinion such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it and is hereby resolved by the mayor and the council of the borough of South River and the county of Middlesex of the state of New Jersey that the public be excluded upon the hereinafter specific subject matter, and that such subject matter to be so discussed is as follows: contract negotiations. Be it further resolved that such record of the above discussion will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required.
Your pleasure on the
Motion.
resolution. Resolution has been moved by Mr. Gindi, seconded by Mrs. Ballas. Roll call.
Councilwoman Ballas? Yes. Councilman Gindi?
Yes.
Councilman Kurchansky?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mira?
Yes.
Councilman Olivera?
Yes.
Council President Siula?
Yes.
Okay, we shall return.
Motion
Motion to open.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gindi, seconded by, we'll get this, Mr. Olivera. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to
Against, the
adjourn.
ayes have it. Don't forget to lower your chairs when you leave. Is there anything else to come before us?
No, motion to close.
Second.
Second.
Motion to close by Mr. Gindi, seconded by, who was Mrs. Ballas? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? The ayes have it. We stand adjourned until the 27th.
I think it's kind of funny.